We three be free in presence of self to help ourselves delight in each other, otherwise Ashe passes us like wind given to no grasp. Let's bask in the task of our light beings, bring water in a time of drought. Spring wells to inside of me and I'm filled. The spring wells up inside of me and I'm overflowing. Like flowering children in the spring, youth followed by summer in the heat of hormones. Grown and horny and checking her out, standard procedure. Words, verbs, curves, laughs. Stories don't bore me with the turned away faces. She laces her curls with the fingertips, with the nails dipped pink and prettier for symmetry. Revealed itself beneath pits. Understated, known only to us. We smile quietly, knowing what we're still shy to say. She sits wholly white dressed. Symbolism speaks crystal clear. Her light-skinned vessel in her touch is heavy and present when she grabs hands and resets heartbeats that I think I'm crushing. She likes thin girls and I've never been so skinny. We juxtapose with the dark colors and camouflage stains, drips and tips from cups. Accidents happen and I have the space of ours. Flowing conversation is my foreplay, and she will make me wait, torture, and tantalize sensations, desire reverberations between bodies, frictions, restrictions, new kind of marriage and a new kind of life, new love. A professor with no profession, he prophesizes during a storm of epic proportions, new mantra reincarnated from our sleep slumber party over here, no pajamas allowed. Our souls have come back to each other's for times such as these. Understanding stands the test of time. Our souls have come back to each other's for times such as these. Understanding stands the test of time where all else failed. Curtail bad habits like our life depend upon it. What good is a home with no one visits but the blues? Bar windows. Pray emotion won't find a way in. Unwelcome memories take of the life of their own. They could be fresh and full of energy, and mating inside of heads give a birth to half-breed thoughts and nests in the ledge of a high rise. Chased out of your own body, following down misleading trails, falling in deep thought without a shovel to dig yourself out of, and you be the cemetery for question asks, dilapidated for the lies, but nevertheless this month's issue is honesty. Poetry is freedom from perspective, of course, and freedom from making sense, and there is no understanding this. Dots fade in and out of my mind, sometimes I can't even find a connection. My pencil has a sharp mind and thoughts of its own. That's understated, but overwhelming. I wrinkle these pages of illustrated sentiments, being careful the cautious words, for your actions speak louder than verbs, like armies of footnotes with no ground to cover. I revise once to fit needs. You can give your inner motion sickness until you come along and sensitize poems with erasable pens. Each rhythm is many vibrations, giving my mind sweet fascinations, and all we need in this world is hungry poets with great amounts of imagination, and there's too many dickheads in the day trying to be the hardest. I'll be the airplane flying over terrain, dropping survival kits for starving artists. Who could never be the next? I am more to contain what thoughts come from my brain, ordering, deciding, filtering what's next in my conscious, overwhelmed by my subliminal. Look in the mirror. What do you see? Who do you want to be? Ashe. Your comments without commitment or communication. Essential elements to periodically bring to the silent auctions to highest bids, dirty bibs. Who could bend unwanted desires to find vision only define limitation. Proceed as we get closer to the illusion in the heart's defined details that get inevitably the reality lessons. You can only find a place of yourself in education unified edition of your agenda. I am subliminal grind. Finding to the back of whether you find your corner. Time out sentences, capital punishment meant to the punter that's bound. In your state of mind, you can only frown. You're looking to pay attention to what matters, but nothing but dark matter and hard facts that told you who we are. I'm not down, in and out. Direction to the heart, craft for the self and harsh criticism. Only the passion to create a masterpiece which came from the bliss places. And you being influenced is obligated to part of your self installation and you define it the pit. Age and the numbers to calculate the tension of eye. You define the story of your house in the sill of a window. Generously genders, inheritance and only finding your front line of only expression. protected by your bearing, loving ones, waking up to find your morning, to be seen again, perspective of highs and lows, that's not been revised. For you live at the barely making the wages are only tough enough to wedge out of, holding yourself through institutions. I am everything. Was not to be contained, numb. You behind the chest of treasure. I can find a man whose rhythm, who's melancholic enough to find the sea levels. Feeling walk tall for the Broadway island. Donate and I am meaning ways of misleading the tours. I am training inner front of the faint plans. Clover cast. I am naming your own territory. Use gridlock. Reasonably priced. Participating in artificial beliefs on understanding of your bent back, accommodating to what the accomplished complimentary hope feelings to be raised and listed for eligibility, fostering effective would be only architectural timeline with the quotas to out time memory on the calendar digital world with the numbers don't find the half scheduled factories below face value bargaining only price when you can find out what's in store. Sales are more for the precision of the gift that you can only resonate the states of the mind. I am more than the calculated unbroken heart being already enriched with the grand opening. These are the Thursday paydays with 100 nights with I am more convincing a comment committed to commemorate the death birds and tombs of cemeteries. New moons rise repeatedly with the sight to blind sides of the perspective that was swept under the clouds as undergarments to enhance the chest. Another mark for your silent expressions. You can figure the proportions. You can speak with the lisp, it's only cautionary is the language of a barrier and borders to alienate the pain. Perspective in the circle, the numbers would not add up. Eat the pie, I wait. These are moments for memos posted, elongated. Lure the mark upon your birth that has many filled with desires, enthusiastic explorations, fascinations with recklessness, care about the consequences. Where whose shoulders you shrug, appreciate it only. Tricks that turn, there too cold, resistance, reverberate. Sailing over the bloodline, racing the ashes to find who and who sitting seem to live. The comments without commitment or communication, essential elements that periodically bring to the silent auctions to highest bids, dirty bibs. Who've been unwanted desires to find vision only to find limitation. Proceeds we get closer to the illusion in the hearts to find details that get inevitably to reality lessons. You can only find a place of yourself, education unified edition. All your agenda, I am limited with the mind. Trying to get the back when you're fine. Your corner, time out, sentences, capital punishment to the pun of that spine. In your state of mind, you can only frown. You're looking to pay attention what matters, but nothing but dark matter. And part of fact that told you who we are. I'm not down, in and out. Direction to the heart, proud for yourself, harsh criticism, only compassion. Get a master, this place of we three, being influenced by be free in presence of self to help ourselves delight in each other, otherwise Ashe passes us like wind given to no grass. Let's bask in the task of our light beings, bring the water in a time of drought. Spring wells to inside of me and I'm filled. Spring wells up inside of me and I'm overflowing. Like flowering children in the spring. Youth followed by summer in the heat of hormones. Grown and horny and checking her out. Standard procedure. Words, verbs, curves, laughs. Stories don't bore me with the turned away faces. Your laces or curls with the fingertips with the nails dipped pink and prettier for symmetry. Revealed itself beneath pits. Understated, known only to us. We smile quietly, knowing what we're still shy to say if she sits holy white dress. Symbolism speaks crystal clear. Her light-skinned vessel in her touch is heavy and present when she grabs hands and sets heartbeats. I think I'm crushing. She likes thin girls, and I've never been so skinny. We juxtapose with the dark colors and camouflage stains, dripping tips from cups. Actually happening in the space of ours. Flowing conversation is my foreplay, and she will make me wait, torture, and tantalize sensation, desire, reverberations between bodies, restrictions, New kind of marriage, new kind of life, new love. A professor with no profession, he prophesies during the storm with epic proportions. New mantra reincarnated from our sleep slumber party over here, no pajamas allowed. Our souls have come back to each other for times such as these, understanding stands the test of time. Our souls have come back to each other for times such as these, understanding stands the test of time where all else failed. Curtail bad habits like our life
Comments
depend
without
upon.
commitment or communication. Essential elements to periodically
What good is a
bring
home
to
with no one visits but the blues?
silent auctions to high
Bar
bids,
windows.
dirty bibs.
Pray emotion won't find a way in.
Desires to find with the vision only you find
Unwelcome memories take the life of their own.
Proceeds we get closer to the illusion in the hearts of
They can be
fine
fresh
details
and full
that
of
fit
energy and mating inside of heads, giving birth to half-breed thoughts and nests in the ledge of a high rise.
Education unified
Chase
of your agenda
out of your own body, following down misleading trails, falling in deep thought without a shovel to dig yourself out of, and you get the cemetery for question nags.
And your state of mind
Data for the lies, but nevertheless, this month issue is
you're
honesty.
looking to pay attention to what matters, then nothing but dark matter and artifacts that told you who we
Poetry
are.
is freedom from perspective, of course,
I'm
and
not
freedom from
down,
making
in and out.
sense, and there is no
Reflection of the heart
understanding
craft
this.
of
Dots
yourself,
fade in and out of my mind, and sometimes I can't even find a connection. My pencil has a sharp mind and thoughts of its own.
Part of yourself, installation, and need to find it.
It's understated.
Age and the numbers to
But overwhelming.
Attention, the eye, you define the story of your house in the sill
I,
of a window.
and I, wrinkle these pages of illustrated sentiments, being careful the cautious words, for your actions speak louder than verbs, like armies of footnotes with no ground to cover. I revise once to fit needs.
Find your morning.
You can give your inner motion sickness until you come along and sensitize poems, erasable pens.
That's not been revised. For you live at the barely making the wages are only
Each rhythm
coming
is
up
many
to bed.
vibrations, giving my mind sweet fascinations, and
institution.
all we need in this world is hungry poets with great amounts of imagination, and too many dickheads in the day trying to be the hardest.
Was not to be contained none.
I'll be the
behind
airplane
treasure.
flying over
Fundamental
terrain, dropping
rhythms,
survival
rhythm,
kits for
spelling
starving
alley,
artists.
Find the sea levels, feeling walk tall for the Broadway.
We can never be the next.
I
I
am meaning ways of misleading
What thoughts
tours.
come from my
I
brain
am
order.
training inner front of you.
Silent
Think
filtering.
explorer kinds. I am
What's next in
naming
my
your own
conscience?
territory.
Overwhelmed by my subliminal.
Use the gridlock. Regionally priced,
Looking in there.
participating in artificial beliefs on understanding of the world bent back, accommodating to what accomplished complementary, hope feelings to be raised and listed for eligibility, fostering effective would be an only architecture for timeline for quotas to out time memory on a calendar digital world where the numbers don't find the half schedule for factories below face value, bargaining only price when you can find out what's in store. Sales are more for the receiving of the gift that you can only resonate the states in the mind. I am more than the calculating of broken heart, and we are already enriched with the grand opening. These are the Thursday paydays with the hungry nights with the iron more. Convincing your comment to committed to commemorate the death birds and tombs to cemeteries. New moons rise repeatedly with the sight to blind sides of the perspective that was swept under the clouds as undergarments to enhance the chest. Another mark for your silent expression. You can figure the proportions. You can speak with the listless, only cautionary is the language of the barrier and borders to alienate the pain. You know what perspective in the circle the numbers would not add up. Eat the pie, I wait. These are moments for memos posted, elongated. Bore the mark upon your birth, perhaps many filled with the desires, enthusiastic explorations, fascinations with recklessness, to care about the consequences with bear. Whose shoulders are shrugged, appreciated only the tricks are turned. Bear too cold, resistance, reverberate. The past, the present, the abandoned ship. Are you in an emotional sea to come, the dashing, sailing over the bloodline, bracing the ashes to find who the end of, citizens who live?